Welcome back. This is Benita Creek RC, and today we're going to be working on the Mojave Grom. A friend replaced the diffs in his Mojave Grom, so he gave me these out drives. That's what was broken. I still need to order a metal one, but I haven't done it yet. So what broke on it is the little teeth on there. This truck has a locker in the rear, which just shears it just sheared the little two teeth off of that out drive, just flush off, so this will spin freely. And then we're also gonna refill the shocks because they've been leaking bad, and I'll use some of this. I don't know if 40 weight is gonna be ideal for this. I already did one. I was just trying to figure it out, and I think it should be good. Something else I need to do is just take apart all the suspension and the steering. It's full, all the pivots are full of dirt and stuff. It's kind of binding, so yes, needs a bit of cleaning. And I'm just gonna put one of these other out drives in, and I think it'll be good to go. One problem I've had with it is the charger. It just kind of fried a bit. The light doesn't change. It's only kind of on, the light's only on yellow. It doesn't tell you when it's done charging. It still charges it, but you just kind of leave it on for a while and then guess when you think it's about done. So I need to try and get that warranted. All right, so let's get this out drive put in. I just realized that you can take this apart as one whole piece. You only have to remove the front two countersunk screws, the two that you get through the holes on the rear skid plate, and then these top two, and this whole thing will, the whole like back bumper and rear of the diff housing will come apart, and you can see, then you get straight to the diff. See, I have a Power Hobby locker in there, and then that's really caused, I think I wish I would have gotten just like the metal internal gears that you can get and put them in the stock housing, but I decided to do this. It does help in dirt a bit, but I had so much trouble getting it to actually get installed and fit. It was the ring gear. It took probably 40 minutes. I had to re-drill the holes in the ring gear to get the screws lined up. It was a pain. I would not recommend doing this. Maybe Power Hobby makes a ring gear for their own things, but I don't know. Alright, so I just have to get the plastic bits out of the inside of this and then get the new one installed. I just wanted you to check out this impressive carnage. Look how tiny it is. Will it zoom? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's what made this thing 3-wheel drive. Okay, now I got this put in, and yeah, I had a pick and I was using this trying to move it around, but what I ended up doing is just tapping it down, and it would the pieces just came out. Like, they were all twisted weird, but just tapping it, they just came out. So I just throw a screw in the end. I forget what size it is, but we'll get this installed and we'll get to working on shocks. Okay, got it all put back together, and here's the rounded off into the one out drive. Let's see. Here's the other one. That's what it's supposed to look like. Alright, so now we're going to do shocks. And I wanted to show you, like, here is one that was leaking. This was the one that was leaking the worst. But, see, like, it's just covered in shock oil and that got dirt. You can hear the shock and see, like, it's not really damping. Here's the one I just refilled. I think that's much better than, let's see, the front's pretty bad too. I think that's mostly suspension sound, but then still not, though this side's worse. Yeah, these need refilled. When I did this one, the inside, the oil was kind of brown. Well, you can see on my rag I had here, like the purple is that oil, the new stuff, and then this is the color of the old stuff. So I don't know if dirt was getting inside or something, but it was, or if the oil's just already kind of brownish color, but I don't know. It was not good either way. All right, I'm gonna get these shocks off of here, and then I'll show you the oil inside the old ones if they look weird. Okay, you can see how bad this shock was leaking. Like, it's just the whole body's covered in dirt, and then especially underneath on the spring. So see in that groove, you can see like a little clod of dirt from the shock oil. So pull that off. It's kind of stuck on there a little. See, look at all that dirt that's stuck on there. That's held together by shock oil. You take the spring off, and then, yeah, look at all that dirt stuck underneath there. It's crazy. And it's kind of wet too. Look at the shock oil is holding it together. It's really weird. Yeah, for a second I could see like some wet shock oil on here. I need to try and not get this stuck inside the O-rings. So this has two red O-rings inside the bottom, and then there's an O-ring in the lid, so it doesn't have a bladder in the top. Okay, this is not doing much dampening. I bet it has a quarter of the oil it's supposed to have. So see, you just pop the cap off. You can see it looks kind of, I don't know, you can't really see in there, can you? It's kind of dark, but it's kind of, oh, it's disgusting. You can see the color of that oil. It's just filled with dirt. So you gotta get this emptied. Just let that sit for a little bit, and then, like, that's disgusting. I don't think it's supposed to be that color. That's even darker than what came out of the other one. So that's definitely dirt. Yeah, the piston is just a little too small for inside this bore, so it can kind of wiggle, which is why I think the O-rings leak. I think they'd be fine if it weren't for that. I don't know what the thickness of this oil is supposed to be, but I think the 40 weight will do good, but if it leaks again, I'd probably try 60 weight. Well, the rest of these are going to be just like this, I guess, but I'll show you the color of the shock oil. I think the front ones won't be as bad, but I don't really know. This front shock wasn't leaking near as much. It has quite a bit more dampening, but still it has leaked some. Focus, yeah. See, it still has some dirt buildup on there, but nothing like the other ones. It has a little bit of an air pocket inside. So I don't know what the shock oil will be like. I bet it's gonna be, oh yeah, this is much clearer. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to get it to focus. This is actually pretty clear, so, and mostly full. So I pulled this all the way down. Probably the height of the thread's low, so I'm just gonna refill it anyway. That's kind of cool. Yeah, there's still some dirt in this one, but nothing like that other one. This last one did have a bit more dirt buildup on there. Not as bad as that first one. I didn't film that first one, but this one is a fair bit worse. Much less dampening than that last one. So this is the other front one. Yeah, I bet this one has about half of the shock oil it's supposed to. That last one had like 3/4. Oh, the O-ring stayed in the body, on the body instead of in the cap. Let's see. This one is definitely contaminated too. It does have some dirt, but not near as bad as that second one. Or the first one, not as bad as the first one I showed you. And this one, the oil's kind of aerated and it's about filled up to that ring, so it does have a fair bit less. It's really not too much oil in each shock, but I don't know if you can see it, but I gotta get the oil out of the top. But the piston can wiggle in there. It's too small, really. Alright, so I'm gonna just let these drain a bit. Okay, got the shocks refilled. I don't know if they're gonna keep their oil in them. The shafts wiggle a lot, and I could see that in one of them, like the O-ring would just kind of wiggle quite a bit on the shaft, like it wasn't even touching all the way around. But they all got oil in them right now. Some of them were oozing just a tiniest bit out the bottom. I don't know if there's any like aftermarket seals that you can get. If you know of any, I'd really like to check them out. So comment down below if you've seen any, but I don't really know. Alright, so I'll get these shocks thrown on and then we'll probably take it for a rip. Alright, got all the shocks on, and yeah, it's got dampening again, so yeah. Oh, I'm not sure how long the shocks will keep their oil, but oh yeah, it's got the dampening again. My friends, it lost all the shock oil in the back, and it hits the rear skid right there all the time, and it's hard to control because it's always bottoming out. So we'll have to see how long the 40 weight will stay in there. If I can find better O-rings, that'll be really good, because they're not quite the right size. I don't know if they swelled or not, but all right. I need to clean out the front suspension, all the pivot points and stuff, because it's kind of squeaky and the steering is very loud. Yeah, it's kind of binding and makes the steering kind of slow and weak, so I'll do that and then we'll go take it for a rip. Well, I had a blast with my Mojave. I went driving with my friend, but he didn't get to drive his because my battery was dead, because this stupid charger doesn't work anymore. It's weird. The light does come on, but it comes on like mixed yellow and green, and for a while it would still charge, but it doesn't now, so I need to get another one. And the oil, like, it felt okay on the bench, but it's under damped a bit, so I think 60 or 80 weight would probably be better. Yeah, still pretty dirty. One of the rear shocks is leaking a little bit. Oh yeah, it's leaking a fair bit. Nah, both rear ones are leaking a little bit. The front ones look good though. They are covered in dust because they're just coated in the shock oil from when I refilled them, but yeah. So it does dampening stuff, but it's a little thin. Yeah. It does look cool just watching the suspension work. And the tire does rub on the body right there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it rubbed the paint off, and that corner's dented in, but yeah. See, it did hit on the diff housings right there, so I think this oil is a little thinner. I'm not sure what weight is the stock shock oil, but I do think 80 weight would be better. So I'll probably rock it like this until these shocks lose their oil again. And I think with the 80 weight, they won't leak near as bad. Yeah, it was pretty dirty in there. Means we had fun. I hope you had fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.